Police have arrested 5 more people over the Louvre jewellery theft. More than £76 million worth of jewels.
Stole more than £100,000 of jewellery during an early morning raid in Cambridgeshire.
146 people were arrested in the pan-European operation.
Dawn, Brixton, before the market stalls are up. Before the first buses have turned onto Cold Harbour Lane, officers moving in coordinated silence through addresses on Angel Town, on Atlantic Road, on the back streets behind the high street that look from the pavement like any other South London neighbourhood trying to get through a Tuesday morning. Doors off hinges in under 3 seconds. Cash in vacuum-sealed bags stacked under beds. Jewellery, watches, chains, rings, stuffed in holdalls inside wardrobes that weren't built to hold what's in them. £20 million worth of assets in rooms that don't belong to people who can explain where any of it came from. 85 people detained across multiple addresses. An organised network that has embedded itself into the commercial and residential fabric of SW9, busted in a single morning by the Met's Economic Crime Unit, working alongside the National Crime Agency. This is not the first time officers have come for Brixton. It will not be the last. And the reason that matters, the reason the number is 20 million and not 2,000 pulled off a street dealer, is a story that goes back decades, runs through gold bars and designer watches, and touches the same money laundering architecture that the NCA has now confirmed is draining billions out of Britain every single year. That story is what nobody is joining up. That's why British Front Media exists. Subscribe now, because what follows is the complete picture. Reason number 1. Brixton has been the centre of coordinated Met Police gang raids for over a decade, and the scale of what they find keeps getting bigger. This corner of South London has a documented, decades-long relationship with organised crime. The PDC, poverty-driven children, controlled crack cocaine dealing across Brixton, Kennington and parts of Stockwell throughout the 1990s, with the gang's leader openly calling himself the boss of bosses. The gas gang that followed them terrorised the same estates through the 2000s and 10s, responsible, according to local council and police estimates at the time, for 3/4 of violent incidents involving young people in Brixton, with 8 suspected members jailed for murder or attempted murder in a single year. The police response scaled to match. In December 2013, the Metropolitan Police launched Operation Boon, deploying over 400 officers in 21 simultaneous dawn raids across Brixton, targeting gas gang members involved in drug trafficking and violence. The following January, approximately 700 officers conducted coordinated raids spanning London, the home counties and Edinburgh. 29 individuals arrested for conspiracy to supply Class A drugs, money laundering and violent crime. Detective Chief Inspector Tim Champion described those targeted as vicious. The cash and drugs they found were significant, but they were, even then, the surface layer of something much deeper. Reason number 2. The Met's November 2025 Brixton High Street operation exposed exactly how criminal cash hides inside legitimate-looking businesses, and Brixton was specifically named as a target zone. This is not historical context. This is what happened 3 months ago. In November 2025, the Metropolitan Police's Economic Crime Unit carried out a series of visits to 30 venues across London, including specifically in Brixton, targeting cash-intensive businesses believed to be linked to criminal activity. Barbershops, fast food outlets, car workshops, nail bars, money service bureaus. Officers seized counterfeit goods worth £240,000, around 1,200 illegal vapes and £22,000 in cash. They found illegal knives on open display. They discovered fraudulent tills and chip and pin machines. Card payment infrastructure specifically modified to skim customer data. HMRC launched 5 new investigations from that single sweep. Immigration enforcement supported visits to 13 venues. The Met's modern slavery team attended 7 addresses, acting on intelligence that workers had been trafficked. The operation, led by the Met's Economic Crime Unit, was part of a National Crime Agency coordinated initiative targeting the same architecture across the capital. The high street that looks normal from the pavement is not always normal behind the counter. Reason number 3. Criminal cash in Britain is converted into jewellery and gold specifically because it's untraceable, and the NCA has documented this in real prosecuted cases. The 20 million in cash and jewellery that a raid like this surfaces does not arrive in bags by accident. Jewellery and gold are the deliberate endpoint of a laundering chain, chosen because they hold value, move easily, and in the right hands, become almost impossible to trace back to a drug deal or a robbery. The NCA knows exactly how this works, because they prosecuted it. In one of Operation Venetic's most significant cases, Matthew Byrne and Bo Devlin, convicted of attempting to import around 5 tons of cocaine from South America, laundered their profits through a Hatton Garden jeweller named Chris O'Shea. They exchanged criminal cash for clean money, gold bars at around £40,000 per bar, and designer watches. Byrne was sentenced to 21.5 years, Devlin to 17, O'Shea to 11. 3 men, 1 jeweller, hundreds of thousands of pounds converted from street drug money into assets that looked, on paper, entirely legitimate. The jewellery in an organised crime group's wardrobes is rarely jewellery. It is currency, portable, deniable, and very hard to freeze. Reason number 4, the NCA calculates that at least £12 billion in criminal cash is generated in Britain every year, with £1 billion of that laundered specifically through high street businesses. This is the financial architecture behind every cash-stuffed bedroom and every asset-packed holdall found in a Brixton raid. The National Crime Agency's own figures confirm that at least £12 billion of criminal cash is generated in the UK every year, with £1 billion of that cleaned specifically through high street businesses, the same barbershops, car washes, nail bars and food outlets that the November 2025 Brixton sweep targeted. Cash from drug supply, robbery and fraud is mixed with declared business revenue, banked as legitimate income and recycled back into the criminal economy as clean money. A £20 million seizure in one morning sounds like a dramatic number. Against the backdrop of 12 billion generated every year, it is a fraction, representing roughly 0.16% of the annual criminal cash economy in a single operation. That is not a reason to dismiss it. It is a reason to understand what it actually means that this much was found in this one corner of one city before breakfast. Reason number 5. The Met's own enforcement data confirms this is a sustained, accelerating campaign, not a one-off. The Brixton raid does not sit in isolation. The Metropolitan Police has confirmed it disrupted serious and organised crime groups 21,231 times in 2025, a 63% increase on the year before. The force is explicitly expanding its presence in targeted town centres. The Met has announced 6 town centre teams, with Brixton specifically named as one of the priority locations for either expanded or newly created operations. Brixton is not being swept by coincidence. It is being swept by design, because the intelligence built up through years of operations, informants and financial investigation has made it one of the most precisely targeted enforcement areas in South London. Reason number 6. The NCA's 2026 strategic assessment confirms criminal markets are converging. Drug money, laundered jewellery and gang infrastructure are now one connected ecosystem. This is the detail that changes the meaning of a haul like this. 20 million in cash and jewellery is not just a drug seizure. It is not just an asset recovery. It is evidence of a converged criminal economy that the NCA itself described in its 2026 National Strategic Assessment as one where criminal markets are converging, organised criminals are diversifying, networking and collaborating. Drug supply funds the cash buys the jewellery launders the profit funds the next shipment. And the network that runs this does not live only in Brixton. It connects through couriers and financiers and encrypted phones to ports in Antwerp, to construction projects in West Africa, and to the same infrastructure the NCA has been dismantling in operations from Venetic to destabilise. So here is where Britain stands in June 2026. A Brixton organised crime network dismantled in a single morning, £20 million in cash and jewellery pulled from properties that looked, from the outside, like any other addresses on any other South London street. An area the Met has been raiding in coordinated sweeps since at least 2013, deploying hundreds of officers in dawn operations against a criminal infrastructure that has proved every time capable of rebuilding itself. A laundering method, gold and jewellery, that the NCA has already prosecuted at the highest level and confirmed is systematic, not incidental, and a national picture in which £12 billion in criminal cash is generated every year, £1 billion cleaned through the same high streets the Economic Crime Unit has been sweeping since November 2025. The Met did what it came to do, 20 million off the streets, a network exposed, dozens detained and facing charges that will take months to work through the courts. What matters now is the question the public never gets answered after a raid like this: whether the prosecution reaches the top of the chain, the financiers, the couriers, the jewellers, the property developers who turned that cash into something with a clean receipt, or whether the men in the hold-all rooms take the sentence and the money above them quietly moves on. Subscribe to British Front Media.